Firearm Freedom YouTube live stream. What is going on, guys? I hope all of you are having an awesome weekend tuning in this Sunday. The day today is January 10th, 2021. We're going to be talking about some interesting things, at least in my opinion, some interesting things in tonight's live stream. I've switched around the lighting just a little bit in the stream tonight, and I want to know what you guys think. I feel like this lighting that I have set up right now is a little bit deeper, a little bit more dramatic. But let me know what you guys think. It's really tough with lighting, specifically in these YouTube live streams, because I am using an iPhone, the 10 plus or whatever the heck it is, the slightly older model than the newer one. And it is always like vibrantly bright. And no matter what I do, it's tough to get that deep cinematic lighting. So as always, let me know down in the comments in the live chat and everything like that, how the lighting looks. If it's too much, too little, you guys know the deal. I'm trying to fix my hoodie. I'm not rocking the FF merch in today's live stream because it was a rather busy day. I had a good old 4-hour range day today of testing. Went through 500 rounds. It's crazy because range days are always a blast for me, but the more guns that I bring for testing, the more work it ends up being. Trying to set up cameras, get everything ready to go with 500 rounds and 3 different guns, and trying to set up angles and where everything's being shot and everything like that, moving targets around. It is taxing for sure. And on top of that, I was actually running in full kit today for that entirety of the 3+ hours. So I had my plate carrier, the HRT rack plate carrier with some level 4 Bowtac plates, war belt, you guys know the deal on that, the T-Rex Arms Orion war belt, really great setup. But we were testing today the Arsenal 107 FR. I did some upgrades to that AK that I think you guys are going to be very excited to see. I was excited to test it out, and when I brought it to the range, it was just a blast. It was awesome, and it was actually not the first time, but one of the first times I've ever really had the ability to dynamically move and shoot and run drills with a rifle, shooting that rifle at steel targets. So I believe I was using the TA targets. So TA targets, thank you for... They did not sponsor this video or anything like that. It was actually my buddy's TA target. But, same deal, TA targets, little Pennsylvania-grown company. Thank you for providing the target to my buddy, and then allowing my buddy, thank you, Keith, for letting me use your TA targets. There we go. How's that for a shout out? But it was a blast. It's a lot of fun shooting a rifle at steel targets and everything like that. I also tested the SIG 229 Elite Enhanced 9mm, that pistol performed great. I'm not going to lie to you guys, the shootability for me, in my opinion, of the SIG 229 was still great. I had no complaints about the shootability, but I don't know why. I tend to have a little bit of a learning curve when it comes to SIG double action, single action pistols. It's just, especially with the 229 being a little bit more compact, to me, the grip feels a little bit tiny with those E2 grips on it, but yet the upper portion of the gun feels a little bit chunky. So doing reloads, it was definitely a little bit to get used to. That is the most rounds I've ever had through a SIG DA-SA gun, and it was only 200 rounds. So by the end of the 200 rounds, I was getting a lot more comfortable with the pistol, but it was definitely a learning curve for the first couple of mags. I was able to bring that pistol out to even 50 yards, shooting at a small 6-inch steel target. It was probably more like a foot steel target, but you guys get the deal, a smaller steel target. And it was very interesting to see how well that pistol performed out to that great of a distance with just standard combat 3-dot tritium night sights. And actually, I was able to connect pretty easily at that distance with that pistol. So it shot great, no malfunctions. And then I also brought my Yugo SKS to the range. The Yugo SKS is actually fixed entirely now. I didn't have any issues gun related at the range. Put another 100 rounds through it, and it It worked great. Very exciting for sure. George Washington. Thank you, Mr. Washington, for tuning into the Firearm Freedom live stream. I'm completely mentally healthy. I'm just tired of the propaganda BS. We're going to talk about that, Mr. George Washington. Doc, what is up, buddy? Dr. Beavis has arrived. Good to see you. Good to see you. So yeah, it was definitely a nice range day. A little bit stressful getting everything fixed up, but it was a nice range day for sure. Got a lot of videos, a lot of testing, a lot of footage done. And man, that is the first time I was able to go to the range with 500 rounds in a very long time. It took me quite a while to save up that 500 rounds, but I just got lucky. The gun shop that I work at had an okay shipment of ammo over the last two to 3 weeks. So I was able to stack aside a little bit more 7.62 by 39 than usual and a little bit more 9mm than usual. And that's exactly why I was able to get this video up and running. Guys, as always, after these streams finish out, I post the links down in the description, and those links will bring you to the Firearm Freedom Discord server. As always, shout out to the Discord family. You guys are mint. It is awesome always over at the Discord. And on top of that, with the Discord family, we do video group calls and phone calls and all this other stuff like right in the Discord, which is a pretty cool ability and everything like that. So definitely check out the Discord if you're looking for that kind of like group chat / private forum little deal. It's really cool. On top of that, there are links to the Firearm Freedom Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram account. We do daily posts on all those accounts, and it ends up being pretty cool over there. We also do live streams on Instagram twice a week as well. So if you're not able to watch these YouTube streams for whatever reason, you can catch them at different times on Instagram. If you want to support monetarily, probably the right answer, or the right thing to say, maybe not. You can check out the Firearm Freedom Subscribe Star account. You can donate as little as like $1 a month to the Subscribe Star account. And then separate from that, I have a Teespring merchandise store. So if you guys want to rep some FF merchandise, you can purchase them off of that merchandise store. As always, anything, any type of support, donations in the live streams, donations on Subscribestar, and buying FF merch is incredibly helpful. I really appreciate that. But if you don't even have the dollar to spend, and trust me, I've been there, I totally get that. If you do still want to help support the channel, comment down below. I know it's a little bit of a pain in the butt and it takes an extra second, but if you comment down below, that helps the algorithms. If you like the video, if you share the video, and just simply watching these videos really helps out. So make sure to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the bell. All that is much appreciated. So thank you guys so much. Let me catch up on your comments and then we will get going to the topic. Glad I finally have time to watch again. I've missed the past few weeks. Hey, Griff, no problem at all, buddy. Andrew, right as I'm promising you I'm going to be better at texting, I blow it completely. I am sorry, buddy. I will shoot you a text right after this damn live stream. Neil, good evening to you as well from the freaking UK. What is going on, Neil? Can I sue the ATF for the stress of not approving my cans at 150 days, waiting on 9 cans? Damn, Nick, that's a lot of tax stamps, buddy. Jesus, $1,800 in tax stamps right there. Wow, that sucks. But hopefully they approve you soon. Good to see you're doing well. Are you still I'm not gonna name. Okay, so Laboon the Whale, thank you for your comment, buddy. I'm no longer at that shop. The only reason I deleted your comment is because I try to keep all names of previous places of employment and everything like that. I try to keep them off of the YouTube just for no conflict of interest and to keep the privacy a little bit high. If you guys ever, like a little bit of a side note, if you guys ever have private questions for me like, hey, do you still work at X shop? Or hey, I know you work at this shop, or what range do you go to? I'll never like say that stuff openly here on YouTube. But if you do want to shoot me those questions, you can go over to the Instagram account. You can shoot me a DM over there, and I absolutely will get back to you. So if you want to DM me, that's the place to do it. Facebook, for whatever reason, it's super tough for me to like find the Facebook messages. I never get updates for them. So Facebook is like the worst place to try to direct message me at, because it may be like a month before I get back because none of the messages pop up. Instagram, I try to get those regularly, daily, and everything like that. Is your channel still growing, or how's the algorithm clamped down? Thompson 45. Man, the algorithm has clamped down pretty good. We are now increasing by about 330 subscribers per month. To give you guys an idea, originally my best month before they started shadow banning the crap out of me again, I was gaining 1,600 subscribers per month. So a month would lapse and I would get 1,600 more subscribers. Now that number went from 1,600 to 330. So that is the difference. That is how severe the throttling can be on channels. It is what it is. And that definitely makes it harder to stay motivated to try to make these videos, make content, because it's like, Jesus, whatever I do, YouTube cranks down on it, and it seems like there's nothing that, that can happen. Most of my videos that I post now are like dead in the water at 500 views, yet I have almost 24,000 subscribers. So that doesn't really make sense. That doesn't really add up. But guys, I wanted to talk about something interesting tonight, and something that, really hit home, at least for me, over the past week. Nothing serious. I'm not trying to lay into you guys with like a hardcore serious talk about everything like that. But I do think it's worth talking about, and I think we have a really open platform here on the Firearm Freedom YouTube channel, and I think maybe some of you guys get some help from these live streams. But I wanted to talk a bit about mental health in tonight's stream. And I know that might be a topic that some of you are like, oh God, he's going to go hard about like some depression or something like that. And that's not the case at all. The main reason why I wanted to talk about this tonight is because for really after Wednesday, after, events that happened on Wednesday, directly following that, we had some crazy communications in the Discord. I was heated in some Discord video chats. We were talking about it all day. We were trying to figure out, everything. We were posting opinions and everything like that. And we were talking about it like crazy. And for a while, what you guys don't see on your end is I'm a person that gets very emotionally invested into politics, into what's going on. I dip into the hardcore like tinfoil hat stuff all the time. You guys should see my little book collection I got going on in the background here, because I got some crazy tinfoil hat books, and I get real into that, and I get really invested. I get real like OCD about it and start obsessing about stuff, and I get very emotional about it. I get very frustrated and heated, and I want to do something about it. And last week was really kind of like my topping point where I had to take a step back. And the reason why I say that, after Wednesday, I went ghost on social media. I just went dark for actually until today. I did not post on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. I stayed updated daily on what was going on. I stayed answering messages and stuff like that, but I didn't post anything. I was really trying to take in everything that was going on, take in that frustration. And after a lot of talks with Mrs. Freedom, who always tries to like talk me down off of the frustration train to nowhere, and I just started to realize that it was working me up to a point where, I was not doing good. It was one of those times where you like see your heartbeat every 2 seconds because you're so frustrated, you're so anxious, you're so stressed. and it's nonstop because obviously I work at a gun shop. So I am in a gun shop with very like-minded people all day long. Every 2 seconds, a customer is asking you what you think, what your opinions are, what's going on with this, what happened with this. Your buddies that you work with are showing you stuff that they find. You're showing them stuff that you find. And then I go home, and my second job is social media in the gun world. And you're immediately immersed with this feeling of having to share things, of having to form opinions and help things out and everything like that. And it can be very mentally taxing. It can be very, very mentally taxing and on your overall health, not just mental health, but heart health and stress and everything like that. It can be a little bit tough sometimes. So the main point that I want to make in tonight's live stream and what I think, I don't know, might help some of you guys, maybe not. It's one of those things that I hate people saying and telling people like, look, man, have this life is good attitude and just don't worry about it. Don't watch anything. Because I don't think that is necessarily the right way to look at it. To me, that's a more like telling people to just be naive about it and not understand what's going on. What I am going to tell you guys is understand what you, at this point in time, you personally, understand what you are capable of doing to change or fixing the situation. What can you do? Can you have a good communication with a group of friends about what's going on and turn it off? Do you have an ability to do something to help out with the situation and understand what you can do and what you can't, and also understand what you can control and what you can't control. Understand what are the what ifs and what are the this is happening right now situation. The reason why I say that is because I feel like it's very easy in this industry to get caught up in these very what if hypothetical situations of I think this is going down, or I think this is going to go down, or I think this is going to happen, or that's going to happen, or this is going to happen, and that's going to happen. And you can start really working yourself up into this massively stressed and hardcore anxious state. And a lot of that anxiety and stress is warranted. We know left and right, we are faced with this stuff all day long. But I promise you guys, if you fall down the road that I often fall down, which is not allowing yourself to take a deep breath and think clearly about the situation and slow it back and slow it down, it is not good for your mental health moving forward. And sometimes you don't want to check out completely of the situation and never look back in, but you do have to take a step back and look at it from the larger picture and figure out things that you can do and things that you can't, and also figure out things that maybe you just don't have control over, and it's not something to get yourself so worked up to the point that you can't even calm down over something that you can't control, especially over something that did happen and something that you can't change from never happening because it already happened. So I don't know if any of that made sense, but I hope it did. I hope it helped a lot of you guys. Don't get me wrong. I come on these these YouTube live streams, and I come on these Instagram live streams all the time, rah-rahing from the rooftop and really getting you guys fired up because I'm fired up and I'm angry and I'm frustrated. And that will happen again. But my point is knowing when that you're in a little bit too deep and you need to take a step back. Again, I was trying to think of the best way to figure out how to talk about that with you guys and not sound like some, I'm on my high horse guy or whatever. It's just more so a heart-to-heart communication with you guys, the Firearm Freedom family, on just some things that I think many of us can feel the same way about and are on pretty much the same page. I want to catch up with your comments while I'm talking, as usual with these live streams. If you have questions about something that we're talking about or anything else on the channel, throw them in the live chat, and that's the great thing about lives. I can answer you live here, so you can get my answer right away. Last week was a massive patience test for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Last week, and it was really like a mini crescendo, you know what I mean? And moving forward, it's just it's one stressful thing after another, and let's be honest, that was nowhere near the crescendo, the end, the most stressful part that we'll ever see in the gun community. It's just not, and it's not over. The stress is not over, nothing like that. But man, it really, these past few months at the end of 2020 and now the beginning of 2021 have been filled with stress, have been filled with anxiety, have been filled with really a every other week situation that has caused a massive amount of stress on any gun owner that is out there, and really anybody that's involved in politics or anything like that, just the way of life. It's very easy to get stressed over the past little bit. So that is definitely something to just, think about. Okay. Neil, I'm guilty of shouting at the TV, and that's only from the madness over here in the UK. I get where you are coming from. Yeah, it happens all the time, and in my opinion, I think we're all guilty of it. I think we all have issues with it, and I think we all have a different way of dealing with things. And you know what? I'll be honest with you guys. I do think it's healthy at times to have a good old rant session, with a buddy. And just really let loose and yell it out. But I think what happens a lot of the time is, especially in my opinion, when you're in an environment like I am, where a lot of people have the exact same opinion as you, I feel like it ends up not being a rant session, but you're each you're ramping each other up even more. Like, yeah, what do you think? This is what I think. What's going on? I don't know. What's your opinion? How frustrated are you? Let's get more frustrated together. Let's start yelling together. I feel like that's what starts happening when you're in a group with the people with like-minded opinions. So that is great at times, but not good at other times. Rip Code, what is up from Michigan, buddy? Good to see you tuning in. Thompson 45. I've stopped watching political videos for 2 years. Black pill stuff is good for educating, and the fear mongering and all, I get it, man. I totally get it. I think there's a fine line between being educated, and understanding things, and also trying to open your mind to think and get the gears turning, like I always tell you guys, for listening to things and understanding the realities of what can happen and can't happen, etc., etc. But I also think there's that fine line between learning, understanding stuff, having your head under a rock, and then also being so involved that you're starting to just deteriorate health-wise, and that's never good. Tim, what is up, buddy? Good to see you. I'm glad the Instagram co-host always stays calm. Yeah, that is very true, Doc. Whisper Tactical, bro, I'm probably going to hit 1,000 subs tomorrow or the next day. It's so exciting, but I'm about to have a panic attack because there's no more 9mm and the ATF still has my CAC can held hostage. Whisper Tactical, congratulations, buddy. That 1,000 subscriber mark is a huge deal. I remember when I was at 1,000 subscribers not so long ago, and it is groundbreaking. It is insane. It is really cool to see, and quite frankly, a lot of the time when you're at that 1,000 subscribers mark, you're kind of under the radar of the shadow banning at that point, and you can still kind of grow and go crazy and everything like that. My advice to you, I know ammo is really tough to find. Get creative on videos. Use filming footage from footage that was already taken. Put a montage together of top 5 guns that you've shot, or your favorite gun in the collection, and use old footage and everything. You have to get creative during times like this, because if you are hoping to go to the range and you are hoping to blow through 200 rounds every single weekend for a video of a brand new gun on your channel, I got news for you. Unless you got 30,000 rounds of 9mm stockpiled up, it's just not going to happen. So you got to get creative. You got to get thinking of different ways to make videos and to go to the range and everything like that. As the AA saying goes, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Andrew, that is a great saying. Thank you for that. And I think that is pretty awesome. Let's see here. I think what we can do is prepare ourselves and anyone who will listen to protect our rights in the best way possible for each of the 4 boxes in order. Absolutely, buddy. I agree. I agree. I think, as always, I think, as I've talked about in the Discord and I've talked about in the live stream, I would say a free and open platform and a free and open means of communication is our biggest detriment right now. We do not have a free and open way to communicate. Not even talking anything malicious, I'm just saying any type of a free and open platform of communication to talk about anything. That's how problems get solved. A free and open way to just lay it all out there. What do you think is going on in the world? What do you think will change it? What do you think won't change it? What are your opinions? And have no worry about anything crazy going on and somebody censoring the crap out of you. That is our biggest detriment right now, is we don't have that. We had Parler for a bit, and now it's looking like Parler is going to be taken down and completely offline, which is so unfortunate to see. And don't even get me started talking about not getting super heated and fired up and, seeing social media crack down hard on people that are just trying to openly communicate. I think, touching very, very quickly, because this isn't what this live stream is about, but touching very quickly on comms, communication, and open ways of communication, and kind of this backwards way of thinking that I've seen going around a lot on social media, on Instagram, and different things like that. We've talked about this before. Many comments that I might see in group chats or comments that I see under YouTube videos are not really the wisest comments to make, because they're comments, really borderline comments that are like maybe talking about you, breaking NFA laws and stuff like that. And guys, these are not things that you want to say openly on these platforms, because you're going to single yourself out, and it's just going to be you against a lot of not too happy federal people, and that is the issue. So watch that stuff, but also don't let yourself get too comfortable on anything electronic, in my opinion. I saw a lot of people that were saying, hey, download the Signal app, right? Download the Signal app for comms while you still can. Download the Signal app for comms. And, I listened to that and I'm like, dude, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Right? Like, you're really going to put out there that it is like that you should feel totally comfortable and open communicating about anything your heart's content on Signal, but nothing else, because it's end-to-end encryption on Signal. Guys, I got news for you. At this point in our world, our technology world that we live in today, if you have an electronic device in your hands and you're typing in your hands, or you're talking near your electronic device, or you're talking on an application on your electronic device, you can almost guarantee that that is absolutely being monitored by the federal government 100%. 100%. Get into the tinfoil hat stuff as much as you want, but I'm sorry, guys. There is no way in hell that you're going to convince me that somehow this app, because it's end-to-end encryption, is totally cool. Again, we're not talking about, nothing malicious or anything like that, but it's totally cool to say whatever you want to say with no worries or anything like that. I just don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. I would say that the only free and open way of communication is in person, talking to a buddy or something like that, with no electronic devices or anything like that. Because in my opinion, an electronic device nearby would mean that it's just kind of a given that somebody is more than likely listening to that electronic device, or it's an artificial intelligence listening to it or whatever else. But something is listening to that device, and I just think it's wrong to tell people, that this is totally good and you should go here and you should go communicate here and everything like that. I think that's just misinforming the public, quite frankly. So yeah, there's that. What is the answer to the communication problem? I don't know. I really don't know. And that's another tough thing when it comes to all this stuff, guys. At the end of the day, I am an assistant manager at a gun shop, and I run a YouTube channel, and that's it. And I buy and shoot a lot of guns, and that's about my knowledge level. I read some books, and I form some opinions. But don't think for a second that I'm some sort of expert when it comes to, I don't have a major in poli-sci and know how all this stuff happens and works. So take everything I say as a grain of salt and go from there. And that's really all I want to talk about in regards to communication. Let me catch up with your comments here. Mike, thank you for getting my mental health, buddy. The regulation is beginning to get beyond a joke. Neil, I would agree. It's laughable. It is laughable that some people assume that this is all good to go. I can't even imagine how ignorant somebody could be in this modern day. I really can't. Griff, you got some info about Parler. Great. Parler is in the process of transitioning to new servers. The founders stated they should be back up in a week and that they have several groups fighting for their contract. Hey, Griff, that is awesome to hear. Really cool. It is very exciting to see Parler actually go leaps and bounds from every other application process that has been out there and that has tried to be a free and open platform and has failed miserably. Parler seems to finally be that one app that is soaring above all the others. So I really hope somebody keeps their contract, hopefully. Heard one of the reasons the other side is barely censored at all is because they love planning stuff on Twitter and police love the free intel. Andrew, I could see that as well. I really could. Who the hell knows at this point? Tony, communication is important regardless of people agree or disagree, whatever the topic that's on the table. I would say you're right on the money with that one. Right on the money. I feel like recent events put a real halt on the conservative momentum we had going. It's sad. I'll be honest with you guys. I don't have plans to talk about anything that happened or went on in the past week, and I'll tell you why. It is not because I don't have ideas or thoughts or opinions or whatever about what went down this past week. But I think most of you have formed your opinion already. I think most of you have seen all the information that you want to see. And I think most of you have been bombarded by others shouting their opinion from their own soapboxes here on YouTube all week long. And I don't plan on being yet another person that's reiterating the same thoughts, preaching the same thing on YouTube. I think we're all pretty much going to line up on the thoughts that happened last week. I just don't really care to be on another screaming video talking about something that we all probably agree about. And then, I don't know. So if you guys have any questions or whatever about what went down last week, shoot me a DM. I'd love to have some discourse with you, talk about it, share opinions, whatever. But to be honest with you, the best place to just shoot the crap with me is over on the Discord server. That is by far on the Discord server, that is a place that you're going to get more personal, in my opinion, with the Firearm Freedom family. I know that sounded a little bit weird, but it's true. On the Discord server, that's the one place that you can basically, like I said, group voice call, group video chat, and it's really cool because it's talking to each other like we're all buddies, because we are all buddies, and basically like we're just chit-chatting on the phone. So that's a really cool thing to have. So if you're looking to ask me just some regular personal questions, whatever, about my thoughts, politics, that is the place to do it. Neil, mobile phones are a perfect example of how to monitor a populace. Algorithms spot specific words and phrases. Neil, you're 100% accurate, buddy. 100% accurate. Michael, do you foresee the ATF outlawing silencers? This is a question that I have been getting a ton more recently. And that question has essentially, been asked by a lot of people looking to get their first suppressor. I've had a lot of people coming in saying, hey, I've been thinking about a suppressor and, I don't know what the heck's going to happen, so I'm going to run into the shop and I want to get a suppressor right now. Here's the deal, guys, and I'm going to be as upfront with you as possible. As the things on a totem pole that I'm worried about getting chopped by gun control, silencers or suppressors are the bottom barrel of the list. The bottom barrel of the list, and I'll tell you why. You have number one, you have billions. That's no exaggeration. Billions of dollars going to the federal government with, whatever they tell you it's going to, park services or whatever other bullshit they tell you that money is going to. I doubt that all that money is going to park services, but whatever else. They are getting billions of dollars per year of your tax dollars that you're willingly paying to exercise your own right. They are getting all that money, and a lot of that money, most of that money, is suppressors and the suppressor market. And the suppressor market is larger than it ever has been, and they are getting more money than they ever have been from this. So any sort of legislation that would go about changing the items in the NFA or getting rid of the NFA items or banning the NFA items would also mean deleting that tax revenue that they had coming in from the public, which, although anything is possible in the future, you could understand why that would be like the last thing that I would be worried about them touching right now. On top of that, they would have to make the argument that somehow their ridiculous process that they have you go through 6 months to a year before you can take the items home, federal registry, fingerprints, passport style photo, $200 taxation, which is theft, all sent to the government, 3 copies of paperwork, 1 goes back to you, 1 goes back to your local sheriff's department, 1 stays at the ATF for the federal registry, all the safe storage requirements, only you having the ability to have possession of the item while it's in use. All of these things, they would then have to admit that all of that is actually not enough. So again, the last thing that I would be looking at, because I'm worried that it's going to be gone, the last thing I would be looking at buying right now is a suppressor. That's, in my opinion, not going anywhere anytime soon. There are many other things that you should be very, very worried about in the gun world, and suppressors are just not one of those things right now, in my opinion. Could the wait times go from being okay, which they are right now, to being through the roof, like a 1.5 year wait time? Yes. They could, if they do something with the NFA by adding more items to it or something like that. So that, yes, that could happen. So just kind of be aware. Snipes, are you worried about the new president coming into office? Is that a trick question? Yeah, I'm a bit worried, buddy. Yeah, I mean, do I think something's going to happen as far as gun control? I have no idea, guys. Do I think a lot of stuff is going to be proposed? Yes. Do I think there's going to be a ridiculous amount of panic buying as soon as Biden gets into office? Yes. Are prices going to go through the roof even more than they are now? Yes. Is availability going to go down even more than it is now? Yes. Are people going to run into a gun shop the moment after he's sworn into office because they're worried about gun control and they want to buy their first AR-15? Yes. So get ready, because that's what's coming. And, will they actually pass things through the legislature? Well, now they own the House, the Senate, and they're in the presidency. So, yeah, I would say that they have a high potential of passing some sort of gun control through. Will all the Republicans all of a sudden stand up and be like, hey, we didn't do anything for gun control or about gun control before, but now that Democrats are trying to do something about gun control, now we'll come out of the woodworks trying to fight it. That might happen too. Things might get stalemated, and then on top of that, you might have massive and fast action from the ATF immediately upon the new president gets sworn in. So there's a lot of things going on. A lot of things going on. So yes, I'm nervous. Off topic, Joe, have you ever found yourself handling a super expensive gun you can't afford to buy at a shop? I found myself doing that today at work. I handle pretty much anything that comes in. I think the only really expensive gun that I wanted and could never buy was machine guns that I've handled. I've handled some awesome machine guns that are like $11,000, $12,000, $20,000, and I really wanted them, but there's no way in hell I would ever be able to afford one. So that would be one example, yes, of a gun that I've handled, really want, and just can't afford. So yes. Thompson, great points. I totally understand where you're coming from. Nighthawk, long slide, 1911. Tony, I've handled quite a few Nighthawks. They are pretty nice. Sean, I'd be buying mags, lowers, and parts right now. Sean, you're as usual. You're hitting the nail on the head, buddy. Thank you for tuning into the live stream, as always. But yeah, guys, magazines, don't forget this. Do not forget this, because I promise you, you can hit screen record right now over what I'm about to say, and you can go back to it 2 months from now, and you can be like, holy shit, I wish I listened to that guy, that random dude on YouTube. Magazines. I'll slow it down. Magazines. For your AR-15, for your AK, for your Scorpion, for your Uzi, your MP5, your HK91, your AR-10, your maybe not M1A mags are super salty, but magazines right now are available, relatively the same price that they were, okay? There are a lot of shops price gouging, but there's also a lot of shops that are not, and for most places, there is no limit on how many magazines you can buy. I personally, I don't want to incite panic buying. I don't want to tell you guys to go order thousands and thousands and thousands of magazines that you're never going to use. But what I am telling you is that if you are short on magazines, you need to inventory your shit right now. And if you're short on magazines, you need to buy them, because a couple months from now, they will be unavailable and they will be unobtainium because of the price point, and you will watch that price point go from $12.99 for a PMag Gen 2 to $49.99 on most online sources if you can find it. So remember that. All I'm saying, remember that. And buy magazines now. We can come back to this in a couple months, and I would almost guarantee you that's going to hit the nail on the head. I just bought a 10-pack of OK Industries and Glock PMags. I bought another PSA complete lower. Sean, great thing to do, man. Great thing to do. Neil, I'm worried about Biden and I don't even live in the U.S. yet. Yep. Yep. I think they're going to try for universal background checks, essentially getting rid of private party sales. I could see them doing that, absolutely. It's going to be even more crazy, especially since there's hardly any parts right now. Yes, yeah, the AR parts right now are going to get ridiculous, and they're already very hard to find. So remember that. Sean, yeah, HK 416, a real deal 416, 11.4. It was $5,500 for the upper. The other is a monolithic. It was $4,200. Yep. I feel the exact same way about the 416. Super cool guns. Man, these lights are cool, but they always dry my eyes out so bad. You guys will see me in the live stream. I'll be good, and then I'm like. And that is because of the lighting, but sacrifice for the channel. Work hard, play hard. What's a great number of mags to have? Good question. A good number of mags, I would say a baseline per rifle would be 10 magazines per rifle. 10 mags per rifle would be a baseline. Bottom of the barrel, 10 mags per rifle. Neil, I'm just waiting on my visa right now. That's awesome to hear, Neil. Hopefully it goes well for you. PSA, D&H 30 round are best bang for your buck, and Glock PMags. Buy cheap and stack them deep. Sean, absolutely. Most shops have limits on ammo, so I've been buying a box or two of ammo along with a magazine every week or so. Griff, it's a great plan, man. Almost everybody can afford that, and that's a way that you stay on track and you continue to stockpile the ammo and the mags while you can. That's exactly what I've been doing as well. Been stocking up on 300 Blackout PMags. Nick, great thing to stock up on. Joe, I've been super stressed. I've been super stressed out about everything going on, so let's talk about anything else today. Chat, let's talk about literally only everything going on right now. Andrew, you are right, but that's all right. I love you guys. As investment, even though I don't have an AR. Yeah, Tony, it's a good idea to buy those mags and use them as an investment, sure. I hope you guys like double barrel shotguns. Hey, with our new president-elect, you just fire them out the door, right? Laboon the Whale, I bought my first gun from you, SKS Farmer's Friend. Dude, talk about that rifle, right? How does it shoot? Whoops. Getting low battery. I now have my 03 FFL, and I just broke the 80th line in my logbook. Thanks for being super chill on a first-time buyer. Hey, I'll tell you what, you bought a real cool rifle. Dude, you got to find me on Instagram. Firearm_freedom. Shoot me a DM. Say what's up, because I remember selling you the gun, but I can't quite remember what you look like. But yeah, that SKS was crazy, man. That was such a cool gun. I got 1,000 rounds of 5.56 and 500 rounds of 300 Win Mag, 300 Winchester, and mag loaders and some mags. My 308 is a fixed mag. Not a bad little bit. Maybe the SKS will see a comeback if they restrict mag capacity. Well, I'll tell you what, if they restrict a mag capacity federally, we're going to be in a real bad boat. So I don't even really want to talk about what will make a comeback or what not, or if the entire country will switch to Mini 14s or what. But I can tell you this. If they do something like that federally as far as magazines, the more people that comply, the easier it is for them to do anything about it. If no one complies, it's a big difference, and that's all I'll say, on that topic. Yeah, we got about a little over 12 minutes left in the live stream, so I'll tell you what. Open question, because that was about all I had to talk about today. Open Q&A. If you got some questions, fire them out, and I will let you guys know to the best of my knowledge the answers and everything like that. So fire away. I will answer them for the next 10 minutes. I rarely do this on the live stream for the next 10 minutes just because I end up running out of time to answer the questions. But you know what? We're going to do it today, so fire away. If you don't have any questions, no worries. We'll end it a little bit early. And I plan to reload. That's a good idea. However, New York is just holding my other AR-15. Yep. Yeah, that other is very interesting, my friend. Laboon the Whale. Makes sense, buddy. Makes sense for sure. Is your Colt done? Sean, yes, my Colt is done, and it is ready to go. I actually have videos filmed on it, but I might get a little bit more footage at the range before I come out with the tabletop with it. But yes, it is done. It is shooting. It works really well, and I'm real excited about it. In PA, they have all the things illegal in New York. The New York laws suck. Yes, they do, buddy. Yes, they do. Andrew, you should buy the Llama 87. Yes, you should. Yes, you should, for sure. What's the date stamp on the barrel? Actually, Sean, I don't know. I'm going to have to look up the date stamp on the barrel because I have absolutely no idea. You and I have talked in the about Ryan. Gotcha. I do remember that. Yes, I do. All right. Any more questions? I feel like there was going to be more questions than that. Any more questions? What do you got? If nothing, don't worry about it. Thompson, dream state. Oregon for myself. Countries aside from the U.S., Czech Republic looks great with pro self-defense gun laws, constitutionally protected, and libertarian culture. I don't necessarily know that I have a dream country outside of the U.S., but with that being said, my dream state for a really long time was Pennsylvania, which is, I'm in Pennsylvania right now. Pennsylvania has a very strong Second Amendment in its constitution, the state constitution, which I really, really enjoy. But another state I would really love to move either down south or Midwest. We took our honeymoon in North Carolina, and I absolutely loved it in North Carolina. Loved the people down there. Really cool place to be. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know that I necessarily have a dream state. For me, Pennsylvania, living in New York my whole life, was like the dream state of freedom right next door. So, you know, I don't know. Sean, it's right by the gas block under the handguard. Thank you for that. I will take a look. I am not sure on the wait period, honestly. I am not sure on the wait period in New York. Michael, thoughts on binary triggers? I don't think they're that bad. I think they're pretty cool. Would I drop the double the price of a Geisley trigger on one? Probably not. Probably not. The only reason why is because I can shoot pretty fast with a Geisley trigger. So, you know, I don't necessarily know that I would get that much of a benefit with a binary over just sticking with a Geisley and getting two Geisleys for the price of a binary. That's just me. That's just me. The great state of Texas, Texas or Alaska for me. Alaska would be pretty cool. Yep, it's probably a wise choice to move into PA. Lake Tahoe is my favorite vacation spot. Very cool. I'll have to check it out. Neil, I'll be living in Salt Lake City, and am I right in thinking they are pretty good for 2A? Yes, they are, from my understanding. I survived California laws for 2 years, and now I'm in Nevada. It's nice putting my M1A carbine back to a folding stock and detachable mag. This is all coming back to me, because I feel like I remember you moving to California. This is all coming back to me. Oh, dude, I totally remember you now. That is awesome. I totally remember you now with the California stuff. As soon as you said that, I got you. I remember you. Would you say you're a decent cook? No, I'm not a decent cook at all, even a little bit. Thoughts on the rare breed FRT? Very interesting. Very interesting. With everything going on with the ATF, I would not be surprised, though, if they got a raid for purchase receipts very soon. That's all I'm saying. It's awesome. I love that they came out with that. And technically speaking, it looks like it would, you know, by their definition, pass. But with the way that the ATF acts, I just have a hard time believing they're going to be like, oh, yeah, that's good to go. So that's just me. What happened to your New York accent? Dude, you guys should... So, there's different types of New York accents, okay? There's, like, real New York City, all that stuff. And I was, like, 8 hours away from New York City. And then there's, like, upstate New York accent. I'm from Rochester myself. Rochester's accent is like a mix between, like, Wisconsin and Canada. Like, all mixed up into one. And it literally sounds, this is no offense to people from Rochester, I'm from Rochester, but now that I go back to Rochester, or I hear myself in old videos from like way long ago when I lived up there, and I hear my old accent, it sounds like I have a speech impediment. So, It is crazy. There's a lot of sorries going on up there. There's like a thick A with everything you say. And, you know, I don't know, man. It is, yeah, it's like weird accent up there. But somehow, after living in Pennsylvania for almost 6 years now, almost 7 actually, the accent has gone away. It has just gone away. And now, when I go back up to New York, everybody sounds super weird. None of it sounds right. So, yeah. Do you know what the turnaround time is on an SBR stamp? If you're doing it Form 1, it's still around 30 days or below. I can speak all 5 dialects of redneck. That is awesome. Pennsyltucky, yep, for sure. Moski, how's ammo stores there? I work at Sportsman's Warehouse selling guns, and our truck this week was trash. No 308, 65, 3030 or anything. What we did get was gone in 24 hours. About the same for us, man. About the same for us. And is now playing pro. Very cool, Mike. That's pretty awesome. I'm more southern Pennsylvania. More southern Pennsylvania. Again, I don't say like exactly where I'm at. Privacy, everything like that. Guys, we're real close to the hour mark here, so I'm going to end the live stream now. Got to run and get groceries, do some adulting things. But guys, thank you so much for watching the live stream. I really enjoy doing these live streams here on YouTube. Next week on Sunday will be our 25th live stream here on YouTube. Crazy to think about. Crazy to think about. If you guys want to check out more live streams, you can go to the Instagram account and check out the live streams there. If you have any other questions, throw them down below in the comment section. I really do appreciate it. I will always get back to you down there. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for taking time out of your Sunday evening to watch this live stream, and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Guys, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for more great videos to come soon.